Greetings, namaste, Monson Biswakarma here right now at Audio Advent. And what brings us here today? This new X Trident. This is a continuation to its previous version, which was called Cerberus, which I do have some experience with. The only difference, besides whatever's on the inside, visually, the difference is the Cerberus used to have these stomps on a single line. With Trident, what you get is the double line of stomps. And without further ado, let's unbox this. NUX Trident guitar processor, and what we can see on the back is all the written information. 1024 sample IR resolution, 30 seconds looper, 96 prefits, 10 blocks, Trident. Okay. Sorry. Pretty impressive packaging. So this is how it comes. This is the pedal. Everything is pretty on your face approach. Yeah, pretty solid looking, pretty solid feeling. That's your NUX Trident. So what we have on the device is a pretty adequate set of ins and outs. You have expression pedal, input, send, return, aux in, master volume, which you can change the volume level of the overall processor with. Ground lift switch, DI out 1, DI out 2, output 1, output 2, phones, MIDI in out, the USB C, and the power slot. And it does come with a power button, just like the previous version. And all the controls and layouts are pretty much on a hands-on approach right up front on the board, as you can see. So you don't really feel like you're interfacing with something that's too sophisticated. If you wanted, you could just reach it out, tweak it on your own. And yeah, for more, let's proceed. And what you get with the bundle is, yeah, pretty cool. You also get these stomp buttons. Nice addition. You're getting 5 of these. And there's your manual warranty card. Yeah, and the charger and the USB-C cable. Now let's hear how it sounds like. For the intents and purposes of this video, what we have done is gone through a few presets within the device and made our own tweaks. And throughout the video, all the sounds that you hear are from the device with our own tweaks, and courtesy of the app, you can see everything on the screen. The app is pretty much similar to what we used before on MG30, and yeah, pretty cool experience. Without further ado, let's hear how these sounds. The amp seems to be a Marshall kind. It's written 1987 X50. This is 7A Pete 1987. We have tube screamer, a bit of reverb, a bit of EQ. The cabinet is a 412 vintage 30 kind. Now let's hear what they sound like. It does have that 70s, 80s punk sound with this Marshall. Usually with these kind of Marshalls, that is what I tend to go with. Another cool thing that you can do with these amps is here's your options. You can select different options: input bright 1, input bright 2, input normal. So let's say we go to input bright 2. The routing changes. I kind of like the jumper bright 1 setting. Let's go to another sound. Where is 23C? 23C again, and a high gain sound. The Marshall was sort of on the overdrive grounds, and this is completely jog ready. Let's increase the levels a bit. I guess that's a little too much. Let's stay at 50. What we have here is digital delay. You can select 3 different kinds of delay. Right now we are at digital delay. 25 at the level, feedback is 16, delay time 503 milliseconds. The EQ, and on the FX we have a studio compressor. And you can also tweak, just like I decrease the level, you can also tweak the bias levels. For this amp I like it at around 80, which sounds pretty nice. Another cool thing that I need to mention is you can set up the delay and reverb in 3 different modes. It's parallel, first delay, then reverb, then delay. And you can also make the same settings with the onboard toggle switch within the delay and reverb section, which is pretty cool. It's right there, approachable. For our ease, let's put it on parallel. Now delay first, then reverb. Reverb, then you can hear the spill. I'll put it back to parallel, which is what I like. The sustain is pretty good too, and it does respond well to volume adjustments within the guitar. Next one, let's go to 30A. This is an SRV kind of sound. You can see there's a tube screamer, modulation. On modulation we have got chorus and vibrato, compressor is on. This is a spring reverb, analog delay, everything set to a very minimum. That's pretty much the sound. And even on this one, you have two options for input. You can either go to the low input where your volumes will be reduced. Again, the high input. So it tries to function just like the real deal. And let's go to another sound, 31B. This is a clean sound. The amp seems to be pretty evidently a matchless, and the FX that we have chosen here is a Dynacomp. The modulation is a tremolo. The delay is an analog delay. Reverb, plate reverb. On the board, what you see is three different kinds of delay and three different kinds of mods and three different kinds of FX. But in fact, when you're inside the app, you can see that there's more than three here. Even on the modulation end, there's more than three. So it does depend on how you set up from the app also. But that being said, having the controls on the board is pretty handy. So it does help on your live endeavors. I am really digging the sound of the tremolo with this device, and not just tremolo. What we had the other time was, I guess, not this one, not this. Yeah, this is the one. Kudos to NUX for nailing the modulation sounds. Like, you can sit with this pedal and get lost for a couple of hours and you wouldn't know the time has passed. Let's get back to the tremolo. like I mentioned, I'm in love with whatever modulations NUX is providing, and yeah, you could literally get lost with the device, hearing the sounds, playing with it, fiddling around. I think NUX Trident does take that place within the NUX range where it is that flagship device, and it does provide you all the flagship sounds. And on the surface, it might not seem like it has too much. Like with devices like this, a lot of times what happens is they pack a lot of things within it, and you tend to have this option paralysis thing going on where you cannot choose one from the other. But I think NUX has done a really good job with this, and even with the last device that we demoed here, they have only given you exactly the amount that you need to get what you want. So, no more option paralysis. Next up, we are at 32C, evidently written as Petrucci lead. We all know who Petrucci is. Let's hear how this sounds. Pretty mean sounding. So, even with the microphone, what you can see is there's not a lot of options, but these four options, trust me, is all you need to move along with your sounds. And when you go to the cab, you can either increase or decrease the IR level. This does change the kind of response your cab has. Let's decrease this a bit, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. And it seems to me when you are making that particular tweak, it's not just increasing or decreasing the output volume, it is also sort of dictating the kind of reaction the cabinet is going to have with you. I mean, the IR is going to have with the player. So, yeah, all in all, pretty solid device, and definitely a flagship device. And at this day and age, I think we're pretty much living in a golden age when it comes in when it is in context of guitars. Like, you don't have to spend too much when you want a good sound these days, and NUX Trident is a pretty good example of that. With this, now, is this giggable? Is this recordable? Is Does this stand together with the more higher end devices? Yes, yes, and yes. I would happily use this on gigs or recordings. And recently, if it's worth anything, Rob Chapman used this with Sabin Rai and the Pharaoh in Malta, and I saw him use just this board, and I guess there was one more pedal. It might have been a wireless thing, and he sounded pretty amazing and used. So, no compromises there. And from Cerberus to this device, I think NUX has finally made that leap where they are sort of coming to terms with getting their devices with two players who are more professional, who are getting on stage on a daily basis, getting on recordings on a daily basis. And yeah, the Trident pretty much does it all for a player like me and you. Hope this was worth it.